dogs. People might think a hot dog is a hot dog. People might think popcorn is popcorn. Oh, popcorn is pretty much the same.
No,
not true.
Not true.
What's the big difference with the Amish country virtually Hulless popcorn?
Well, you said it in the words there, and I'm going to demonstrate and talk about what virtually Hulless is. So if I can zoom in here, I'd like to show just some of the kernels and make sure they don't slip here. The difference between a kernel that you're used to, which is a bit larger, it's going to leave the hull, which is that hard part of the kernel, on the popcorn after you pop it.
Gets stuck in my teeth.
That's the piece that gets stuck in your teeth. Exactly right, Rick. When you have these smaller kernels, which is what we have here at Amish Country Popcorn, they explode when you pop them, and they're left with virtually no hull and nothing to get stuck in your teeth.
And nothing to get stuck in your teeth. So for $29.68, this is for many of you coming back and stocking up and getting more, because you're getting 21 bags. And Kimberly, I'm getting different flavors.
You are. So we have 3 classic favorite flavors here, and I'll tell you about each one of them. The first one, which I'm pouring right now, is our Light Natural. This is your simple little hint of salt and a bit of oil. 7
of those, right?
7 of those.
I'm also getting the butter.
The butter, which looks like butter, smells like butter, tastes like butter, because it is butter. And then we move on to the one that's for the sweet tooth lover who wants something that's delicately sweet.
That's kettle corn.
That is kettle corn. And it is not a candy coated. It's not something that has a stickiness or a tackiness to it. It just has that little hint of sweetness that is just so satisfying and guiltless.
And 48892, this is $29.68 and free shipping and handling. Slightly different colors. And when it comes to this, by the way, this is popcorn that you're just going to try in terms of the flavor, and you're not going to believe how tender the popcorn is.
Yeah,
it's incredibly tender popcorn.
I'm glad you mentioned it. Think about when you're looking at an ear of corn and you see sometimes those really tiny kernels and you say, I know that's going to be the sweet corn. I know that's going to be the one that I'm just going to want to eat the entire ear of corn because it's just so tender and delicious. That's the corn that we're popping these from.
That's the corn you're popping these from. And by the way, this, excuse me, this process took a long time, did it not?
It did. So this company has been growing and popping corn since the 1960s. They figured out how to, on their farms, produce these very, very small kernels and then turn them into this virtually Hulless popcorn. And I love that it's a family tradition. This is something that has been around, like I said, since the 1960s, and it is just as classic and perfect today as it has ever been and enjoyed over all these years.
And as you take that, and by the way, this is all microwavable popcorn. I'm going to do something that normally you wouldn't do with most microwavable popcorn. Look at the bottom of the bag. So what's in there? Nothing. Right? No residue, and there's no unpopped kernels. How many times have you popped a bag of microwave popcorn and you've got 100 unpopped kernels down there?
It's totally true.
Right? So they're all going to pop. And what is the hull and why is it hull-less?
Okay, so the hull is really the piece of the kernel that remains on the bottom of a piece of popcorn. So I will pull this up and show you and show the comparison. So if we can come in here close, you'll be able to see that the piece that remains on the popcorn is what is called the hull. That's the piece that gets stuck in your teeth.
Okay, show me that. I'll just hold that right there.
There we go. That is the piece that you wind up getting in your throat.
Even after it's popped,
exactly.
Right?
When you have a piece that is virtually Hulless, you will see a huge difference. You're not
class in kernel popcorn right here.
There we go. We're getting a kernel education. But this is really something that while we say, well, who really ever knew about a hull or who talked about that? We know about it when it's stuck in our teeth.
Right.
We know about it when we have that to clear it from our throat. All I want for my popcorn is the tenderness and the flavor.
21 bags. Take me through the flavors one more time.
Sure.
One is going to be the butter, right? Not overly buttery, but just enough to add that little bit of butter, which we like.
It's not. So the butter here is the one where you're going to see just a little hint of the yellow flavor, and it's not overly colored because it's real butter. It's not a butter substitute. This is something that is going to give you that genuine butter color and that genuine butter flavor.
Good.
Yes.
The other one's going to be the light.
The Light Natural. So it's just a hint of salt and a hint of oil. This to me is classic summertime flavor. And if you do like to season on top of your popcorn, this is the perfect flavor to do that with.
400 people shopping. We got a lot to get to in 3 hours. So stay tuned. And then we have our kettle corn. I didn't grow up on kettle corn.
So kettle corn is a little bit newer in the flavor profile and family. But what we're finding is it is such a classic favorite. The minute you try it, and please take a taste. and tell me what you think.
It's a little sweeter.
A little sweeter,
Right.
yes. But is it overly sweet?
No, it's not.
Okay, so that's what I find is people like the kettle corn when they say, look, I want something to satisfy a sweet tooth, but I don't want to go to candy. I don't want to go to something overly sugary. I don't want ice cream. I still want that fun of taking my snack out of a bag with this popcorn, but I want a sweetness. And the kettle corn is just such a favorite for that reason.
And 48892 is the item number. The Amish Cruncher. This is virtually Hulless. The mini popcorn assortment. And the kernels are slightly smaller, right?
They are, and the reason that they're smaller is they're starting from a smaller kernel of corn. That's how the hull explodes and goes away, so you don't have it left on the corn, because we're starting from these little tiny kernels. And we have 21 bags, so think about how this is 21 movie nights, right? Or this is 21 ways that you can share with friends and family, and everyone can have their own bag.
No doubt about it. Guilt-free, lots of flavor. Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Rick.
We got a lot
Pleasure.
more coming up. Great snacks, great celebrations, great brands as well. We're going to go to one of them right now. It's Corky's. Corky's and meat and more meat. Now here we go. Man, we are switching gears here. This is a lot of food you're about to buy and bring home and love. 1, 2, 3, 4, one more. 5. 1.5 pound hickory smoked tenderloins, Jimmy Stovall.
That's right.
Hickory smoked tenderloins. Is there a bone in there?
There is no bones at all.
Ain't no bone in this. So
at
I'm
all.
getting meat, and getting Corky's, and more Corky's.
Yes.
Do you serve these at the restaurant?
No, we don't do tenderloins at the restaurant. We only do it here at QVC.
Wow.
We don't do it
this
too
is
often.
Quite the coup, huh?
It really is. And so the difference between our tenderloins and something that you might get at the grocery or somewhere else is we vacuum tumble season these. So our seasoning that we put on the outside is not just some, ring of spice on the outside. It goes all the way through the meat. Then we put them on our slow smokers, real hickory wood and charcoal, just like we do our ribs and pulled pork. And then when we take them off one by one, we sauce them and they are done. And all you have to do is thaw, reheat, and eat. And you don't have to worry about the flavor. You don't have to worry about seasoning it. It's all done for you. And look how tender that is.
And look how tender that is.
That.
Oh my gosh. So that's the one. Now here's how you do this. Not only is it incredibly tender, but the flavor profile is going to be enhanced by the flavors that you have to choose from. There
That's
are
right.
3 of them.
Yes.
One is the original. You can pick it up right here and right now. We'll get into that. That's most limited already.
Wow.
The original is. But what sold out last time was the apple. The apple barbecue said hello in Dubai.
That's this one right here.
And then you've got the honey barbecue. So they're